Let it happen, Cap.
All right. It looks like we're live for the first time in 2020. We got 2020 vision for this episode here. January 3rd, 2020 at 2:02. We should start it at 2:20, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So today we're going to talk about our top apps of 2019, the apps that really made the year special and ones that you can use going forward into 2020. In fact, one of them on the list is going to, well, actually a couple of them on this list are going to have some major changes in the upcoming year. So it's going to be exciting to talk about these apps and what's coming up in the future. So with that, Steve, are you ready to get this ball rolling?
Indeed.
All right. Then here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to talk about the top apps of 2019 and what you can expect for 2020. And today's episode is made possible by freevideoeditor.co. In fact, that's going to be something we talk about in this list today, but freevideoeditor.co is the place to go to get your free video editing program. It's called HitFilm, and you'll get a whole bunch of great extras by buying it, by getting it through freevideoeditor.co because it is free after all. So head on over there. You'll be able to get a very high-end video editing program to create all of your videos, and you'll get a lot of great bonuses to use in those videos to make them even better. So with that, as you head over to freevideoeditor.co, you'll be able to do it while listening to the beautiful theme song, because here it is.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
And it's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the video guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper. Homepage for the show is govmm.com. There you can subscribe to any podcatcher you like. Apple Podcasts probably at the top of the list.
Well, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We could use those 5-star reviews there as well.
That's
so
right.
Head on over there. Be sure to leave us a nice review. Tell us how wonderful you think we are because, well, quite frankly, we are wonderful. And that's something you should do. Yes, indeed. Yes. So today we're going to go into the Wayback Machine, way back to 2019, which was officially 4 days ago. Yeah. We're going to talk about some of the apps that we've used throughout the year. But
wait a minute. I haven't seen you since last year.
That's true. He hasn't seen me since last year. You haven't heard from us since last year. Oh, my goodness. So it's exciting to be back in the seat and to get this thing going. So, Steve, obviously with businesses and whatnot, we're all using lots of different apps. And there are some here. I put some on the list. Kind of wanted to throw some in here that are a little bit more unconventional because obviously I could put in here, Photoshop or Adobe Premiere, Final Cut, and those are definitely programs that we use, a lot. But everybody uses those. If you're a business owner in this industry and you don't have, Adobe Creative Suite, shame on you. Get it. Come on. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Get in there. Get that Photoshop and Premiere and whatnot and start putting some work in. But these are a little bit more unconventional things that are a little more specific to the types of businesses that we do. And so hopefully you'll get some good information out of this and be able to check some of these out and start using them in the future. And the first one I want to talk about is one that was one of my biggest selling products of last year. In fact, it may have been the biggest one, and it's one that I use all the time and one that we've had as the made possible by for a lot of episodes this past year, and that is Thumbnail Blaster. You've heard me talk about it a million times. Steve, you use Thumbnail Blaster as well. What do you think of that poor program?
It's really easy to use. They've got a bunch of templates in it, and so you can build things from those templates. But even if you're not a graphic artist like me, you can build things from scratch. They look good. You can save them, or you can put them right on the video itself, right from the Thumbnail Blaster tool. So I highly recommend it. It's not expensive, easy to use. And, of course, YouTube has come out and said that the thumbnails are one of the things they use to decide which videos to recommend. So here's a easy, simple way to do it.
You know, and there's lots of different studies that have shown that when you use a good thumbnail, you get clicked on more than other videos. And it's something that you really have to do. I was meeting with a new client, on New Year's Day, as a matter of fact, and we talked a little bit about thumbnails. And he's already got a YouTube channel that actually he gets a lot of business out of it already, despite the fact that it's not super well optimized and doesn't use thumbnails and all that. So we're really looking forward to getting a lot more out of that by providing those things. But the reason I love that program is because I don't have to go into Photoshop and manually create all these things and drag and drop it. It's just very easy to create a template. And when you got another video, you just change the text on it, maybe change the image if you have to, and boom, you've got another thumbnail out there. And you can just make thumbnails over and over and over again without, any sort of design skill, really. You don't really have to have design skill. Maybe you have to have a little bit of style so that, what you do create isn't crazy, but...
Yeah, you got to have an eye for it, I guess.
Sure.
But,
very little, though, because there's so many templates in there. You can just grab a template, slap your image on there, and you're ready to go. Very, very easy, but definitely one of my top programs from last year. Those guys did an amazing job. Earlier on that, another program they had was a Lingo Blaster that looks very similar, allows you to change the languages of videos. So these guys are just on a roll with this stuff right now. But Thumbnail Blaster is... one of the top products that I wanted to put on this list. If you haven't checked it out, of course, check it out at raythevideoguy.com/thumbnail blaster, and you'll be able to take advantage of that. Very, very good program. All right, number 2, we're going to go in a different direction. This is actually an app. Now, I have to apologize because all of you Android users, this isn't for you. This is only an Apple iOS product, but it is one that is vital to me, and that's why I wanted to put it on there. And they're making massive changes this year that really, it's going to make this an absolute killer app. The app is called Filmic Pro. Now, if you're not familiar with Filmic Pro, it essentially turns your iPhone into a video, a high-end video recording system. So basically, in your smartphone, whether it's iOS or Android, you open up your phone app and you hit video and you hit record and it records videos and it's going to make a great picture no matter what. These cameras are so good these days, you're going to get a good video out of it. However, Filmic Pro gives you tons and tons of options to control that video. So you can choose the resolution. Do you want to do a 4K video or a 720p video or a 1080p video? You can choose that. What frame rate do you want? Do you want 25? Do you want 30? Do you want, you can go in and change that. You've got full control over the focus. You've got full control over the white balance. You've got full control over the brightness and the iris, and you can control all of these things with these nice little sliders. And you can control your audio, which is one of the weak points of most cell phones. Is if you're going to use them as a video camera, you have to rely on their built-in software. In this, you plug in your microphone and you get to adjust right where you want it. Beautiful, beautiful program, takes great video, has a lot of cinematic effects that are built into it. It's got guides that are in it. So, you've got your guides, your third guide, so that you can make sure that you're framing things properly. It's got zebra stripes if you're overexposed. It's got other zebra stripes if it's too dark. If you got too dark areas, it'll do that. And it actually has what's called focus highlighting. So, you're taking a picture of somebody, a video of somebody, and you want to make sure that focus is right. It actually will show green around the edges of the item that's in focus on the screen, so you know exactly what you're focusing on. And what's great about this program is not only does it take great videos, but it's actually, they've got an update. They said by the end of the year. It's past the end of the year. It hasn't happened yet, so I'm hoping it's coming soon because it's really, really exciting. If you have the new iPhone 11 or the 11 Plus or Max or whatever they call it there, that's the one I have, the Pro Max, you've got 3 cameras on the back of that. And you can not only choose each camera, which in the current one you can do. I can choose the selfie side, or I can choose any of the 3 cameras on the back. The new version is going to allow you to record through 2 cameras at the same time. So you can do that in a number of different ways. So if you were, let's say you're shooting somebody that's sitting in a chair and you wanted to do an interview with them, you could actually have the telephoto lens on them and the wide angle lens on them, record both at the same time. So you now have 2 angles that you've shot at the same time with one camera, one phone. You can also do something that really blew my mind, which is have the selfie camera on one side and choose one of the cameras on the other. And if you stick that cell phone between you and that other person, you can now have a back and forth interview and be shooting 2 people at the same time.
Dang.
So, yeah, it's brilliant. Now, like I said, they announced this a couple months ago and said, coming at the end of the year. Well, it hasn't come yet, so they need to hurry up. But it's very cool. And on top of that, they also have an app called Remote, which allows you to control the one camera from another device. So, for instance, if you've got, let's say you're shooting with your iPhone, you've got an iPad, which is the setup that I have, you can monitor what's being shot on the iPhone, and you can control the camera from the Remote app. So you can adjust your focus.
Wow.
So if you're shooting yourself, you could actually have the iPad with you and adjust all that and put the iPad down and go to work, which is what I'm mostly going to be using it for. But very, very good program, a lot of fun. I think it's like $9 for this app, $9.99 probably. But very well worth it. If you shoot anything on your iPhone, an app you definitely want to get your hands on.
Well, and also, I was feigning outrage when you started talking about this, that they didn't have it for droids. But realistically, if you're a serious videographer and you're using your iPhone to shoot stuff, which Ray does because it provides some more functionality, digital camera, just make sure you got your good lighting, you should be using an iPhone anyhow. I think that goes without saying.
Send your hate messages to steve@twitter.com.
Steve at don'temailme.com. Yeah.
No, and I'm sure there are great apps on Android as well for doing that. I just, I don't use it.
Well, and you know what? Disagree with me if you want. It's just my feeling that the general vibe I get from the community is that an iPhone provides you a lot more stuff that you can do.
I would agree with you. I'm just not dumb enough to say it out loud in public where I can get killed. So anyway, so that's Filmic Pro.
Well,
check it out on the App Store. If you shoot anything on your iPhone, definitely worth it. They actually have a new app they just came out with, which I haven't used yet, which gives you all sorts of functionality for still images now too. So it gives you professional level controls over still images. I haven't used it yet, but I am going to be putting that into action shortly because it's as good as the Filmic Pro video app is, this should be just as good. And I forget what the name of that one is, but if you look up Filmic Pro, it'll pull it up on the App Store. You'll be able to see it there.
Now,
I just haven't used it yet. So
is it FILMIC Pro?
Yes, Filmic Pro. And like I said, they got the remote program as well, which also is $9.99. So you'd be spending $20 if you want both of those things. So well worth it. Well worth it. All right, so the next one I want to talk about goes in another direction, and this time it's for creating videos. And I'm putting 2 into this category because there's one that I really like for the Mac, and there's one that people like for Windows, and that's ScreenFlow and Camtasia. If you do any kind of trainings, if you do any kind of reviews, you need to be able to take screenshots of screenshot videos, screen capture of the things that you're doing. And if you use ScreenFlow or Camtasia, you can make great videos. I use ScreenFlow probably every single day. There's probably not many days, except for the last couple of weeks when I've been away at Christmas and all that. But there's not very often that I don't use ScreenFlow on a daily basis to create screen capture videos and to edit some videos as well. And Steve, you're pointing to yourself, so I assume you do the same thing.
Yeah. I use them all the time. I'm a video marketer. I'm not a videographer like Ray. But what I use them for is I don't write emails anymore. I just do screen capture videos and show my clients what they need to know and what I'm doing and things like that. Occasionally I got something that I'll put on YouTube, but for the most part, it's the way I communicate with people.
Yeah, I use it for evaluations.
Well, at the end of the day, they understand what you're talking about because you're drawing them a picture,
Yep.
So, anyhow,
so when I get somebody who's a potential YouTube customer, I do evaluations, and that's how I do it. ScreenFlow. I just pop it up there and check it out and show them exactly what needs to be done. It's very, very simple, very easy. Export that video, boom, you're ready to go. And I use it for all my trainings. So when I do trainings, I'm using it. It's just a constant use product here in the Ray the Video Guy Universal headquarters.
Studios.
Galactic headquarters.
Galactic headquarters.
I like that better than Universal. Galactic headquarters.
Galactic headquarters.
So, all right, so that is, and by the way, that's for screen capture, but you can also edit with those things too. So it's a full-blown video editor. Maybe not as many tools as Final Cut or Adobe Premiere or HitFilm or DaVinci or whatever, but it's got almost everything that you would need for traditional video editing as well. You can bring in stuff that you've shot, you can add lower thirds, and you can add transitions and do all that kind of crazy stuff. Even green screen in both of them too is able to be done on that. So the next one I want to talk about, another one that, Steve, you'll probably appreciate as well, and that is Leadkahuna. Leadkahuna.
Oh, yeah.
Now this is this is one of two products on this list that are provided by our good buddy David Sprague. There's probably more that should be on there. However, some of the other ones are not traditional software, so I didn't put them on this list. These are apps that I use versus, for instance, they've got like Rep Videos, which is more of a sales program, and it's a video builder, but it's more of a service thing than a software, I would think. So that's why I didn't keep them on here. This is supposed to be apps. And Leadkahuna is one of my favorite and most used apps, because what it does is it searches out businesses that need your help. They need videos, they need SEO, they need their website fixed, they need mobile, they need social media, whatever it is. Leadkahuna helps you to do that. You literally put in, plumber Snellville, and all those plumbers will pull up with all of their contact information, all the information about their website and their Google My Business and their reputation and their social media. And you get all sorts of amazing data that you can use to contact these businesses and start offering your services. So if you see that they don't have video on their Google My Business, you can tell them, hey, you need to put video on your Google My Business. I'll do it for you. If you see they haven't claimed their Google My Business, boom, there you go. If you see they've got low star ratings, you can contact them about reputation management. If they don't have covers on their social media, you can create covers and sell those to them. All sorts of great things in there, and I use it every day. And my son uses it every day. And another guy that's helping me do sales uses it every day. And, a lot of people that I know use it every day because it is that powerful for getting business information so that you can start contacting people. So highly recommend it. Steve, I believe you use Leadkahuna as well.
Oh, yeah. It's excellent piece of software. The thing with email marketing, and it does have an email component to it. It's not going to get you hammered by your ISP. But the thing with email marketing, if you've got to have something very specific. Hey, I noticed you don't have a video on your Google My Business. I can do it for you. If you don't have that, you're not going to get any responses. Just forget about it. But if you can do the research and tell them there's something they need, and you've got if you can identify the pain point and solve their pain, you're more likely to get a response. And that's what Leadkahuna provides. So, in addition to what Ray said.
Yep, absolutely. So we love Leadkahuna. We use it all the time. And it's, anybody who if you're trying to do business to business, you got to have a tool like this. And this is the most powerful one I've ever used. And I don't think anything even comes close. Well, there's a couple that are pretty good too, but that's the one I use, it's the one I choose to use. And it's the one I really like. And I've gotten a lot of business and a lot of work out of it. So it's definitely worth it. If you want to check it out, there's a webinar you can watch. And I believe it's at raythevideoguy.com/leads. So if you go there, you should be able to watch that. I believe that's the page for it. So, and if not, we'll put it in the show notes. So,
can you still buy it at the discounted rate through that?
Yes. Yep. Through there, you can definitely do that. Through my link, you can get it at the discounted
one
rate.
groovy cat.
So,
because
absolutely,
what Ray's offering it for is much better than what you'll find anywhere else.
Well, and the thing is if you don't find it through somebody doing a webinar, you may not find it access to buy it at all. So it's kind of a hidden product.
Last time I looked, it was online, but it was like $1 bazillion to just buy it directly off the internet. So
yeah, so definitely want to do that. Get it through one of the webinars, and I'm not the only one who does it. So if you know somebody else that does the webinar, jump on their webinar and get it. So it's definitely well worth it. A great product for anybody doing work with business to business, local businesses, things like that.
Ray does this Ray does this weekly podcast, how-to podcast, gives away great free advice every week with the hopes that you'll buy Leadkahuna through his
That's right.
through his webinar.
I planned it 7 years ago. I planned this podcast so that I would someday be able to sell Leadkahuna.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of Leadkahuna, another tool that works directly with Leadkahuna is also by this guy. It's called Local Analyzer. Now, this is one that people don't know about nearly as much, but this is a very powerful tool, very, very helpful. What it does is it allows you to do analytics on a business and their reputation. So you'll be able to gather information about their website, gather information about their what directories they're on and what directories they're not on, whether they have videos. And it sounds similar to the Leadkahuna thing, but it's different. In this case here, you're creating a report about a specific business, and it's giving you all the information on that one particular business in a report that you can give to them to see. Now, what's great about this is it also has the ability for you to create landing pages where people can run their report. So for instance, I have one for roofers. I have one for escape room owners. I have one for restaurants. And they go to that page and they say, oh, okay. They put in their name and it'll pull up their, start pulling it up. And they'll see, okay, yep, that's my business. Boop, because it pulls it from Google. They run that report and it shows them, hey, you're on Facebook and you're on Google, you're on Yelp, but you're not on this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Oh, and by the way, your Yelp one has the wrong phone number. You don't have videos on your homepage. You don't have this on your homepage. So it gives all of that there. But what's great about this is every single one of those things says, fix this. And when they click that fix this button, it sends them directly to me to fix it for them. And so it's a very good lead gen tool for getting people to contact you and say, hey, I need help with this. So if you can use that, it's a very, very powerful. I used it to build my escape room directory by just reaching out to all these escape room owners and letting them do that, and then following up with them and getting them into my directory program. So it's a very, very powerful tool.
Let me ask, stuff you don't do, yourself. Do you have a network of people you farm that out to? Like
for instance, I don't really do websites, so I send it to John. If we get a website, I'll send them over to John. Most of the other stuff, I do. So it's very reputation and video based. So if it comes back and says, oh, your website is slow or whatever, that's a different thing, and we'll send that out to get taken care of. But most of the time, it deals with video, it deals with reputation, reviews, and things like that. So that's the stuff I like to do.
Cool.
So
reputation, you doing a little off topic here? You doing a lot of that?
That's a lot of what we're doing now is reputation in a few ways. Reputation marketing. So we're doing rep videos, which takes existing 5-star reviews, turns them into videos. We're getting people more reviews, and we're marketing those reviews out in a lot of different ways. So we're doing quite a few things with reputation.
Okay.
It's a good service
Very
to
good.
be in, no doubt about
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah, the dogs agree. Can you hear them?
the dogs do agree. The dogs
Yeah.
do agree.
Yeah.
All right,
the
the
background.
next one, we're going to go back to video again. I kind of hinted at this program a tiny bit earlier on, and that is HitFilm. Now, if you don't know HitFilm, whoa, did you hear that?
What? No.
This whole building just shook like an earthquake.
Really?
Crazy. Anyway,
Iran's getting even for killing that guy.
it could be. It could be.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of crazy. HitFilm is a video editing program similar to Adobe Premiere or Final Cut in that it's a very high-end video editor. But what's unique about this one is it's 100% free. Well, let's say 90% free. You get it for free. You can use it for free. But they have upgrades you can add to the program if you want to that cost money. So, if you want to add certain fancy transitions, you can pay $10 to have these fancy transitions added. If you need more green screening tools than are built in, you can purchase those for $10, $20, $50, whatever they are, and add them into the program. But you get the basic program completely free. You can edit your videos for free, and it's a very, very powerful tool that does everything that those other big, expensive players or editors will do. So I recommend it. It's what we use at freevideoeditor.co to get people involved. It's what I use with Instant Spokesperson. I recommend that one so that I can do trainings on that particular program and show them how to edit their videos with the same program that they're getting for free. So it's a win-win situation. We really like HitFilm, so highly recommend that you check that out. freevideoeditor.co. Start editing your videos like a pro without the high prices. Sounds like an ad more than anything else, but just a very good program. So
It just succinctly describes what it is.
Yes.
Let me backtrack. Local Analyzer. Do you
Yes.
have a
No.
affiliate link for that? Okay.
I mean, I do, but I have no idea what it is. We did it on a webinar, and I'm not sure where that webinar is situated, so I have to find out.
Okay. No, that's okay. Sorry.
So yeah, not all of these are going to have links to my links to them, but some will.
Well,
And speaking
I'll
of
try-
some that won't,
I'll try to hunt it down and put it in the show notes. If you
There
see
you
it
go.
in the show notes, because I found it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I didn't.
There you go. All right. So speaking of things that don't have a link that would benefit me, we're going to talk about Zoom. Now, if you don't use Zoom, Zoom is a tremendous program that allows you to have meetings with people, and for the most part, it's free. Yes, you can buy the upgrades. They have an upgraded package where you can do meetings with lots of people for more than an hour. I think they cut you off at 45 minutes if you have more than two people in the meeting. They cut you off at 45 for the free version, but you can have up to 45-minute meetings completely for free with video, with screen share, and it works very similar to GoToMeeting, except it's a lot easier and, quite honestly, more reliable sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
So it kind of replaces Skype as well. So it's a really
a
good
newer
program.
GoToMeeting, and I'm starting to get into topics I barely know what I'm talking about, but I did read this. GoToMeeting is on a very old platform.
Sure.
The hardware, the software, or whatever
And
you want to call
GoToWebinar,
it.
same issues.
Yeah, it's on a very old, antiquated platform. It's not always real stable, whereas Zoom, just the opposite. It's a new platform, very stable. I think it offers probably more functionality.
And quite honestly, I can't tell you the last time I was in a meeting that used GoToMeeting. They all use Zoom now. Everybody uses it.
Wow.
Every meeting I've gone to for at least over a year has been on Zoom. So very, very good one to use. So highly recommend. That's at zoom.us. You can go there. Again, you can start a meeting right now. It doesn't cost you a dime to do so. If you're doing a one-on-one meeting, you can go as long as you want. You can have a 5-hour meeting, and that's perfectly fine. If you're going to do more than one other person on there with you, then you only have 45 minutes in the free version, but that's usually good for most people, and it's a good way to get out of a meeting. So you can say, hey, we have to be out of here in 45 minutes or they're going to kick us out. So that's always a good thing. So that's Zoom. Highly recommended. By the way, it's not just a meeting software. A lot of people see this video. If you're watching the video that we do here for this, where Steve and I are on the screen at the same time, a lot of people use Zoom to do that for their podcasts and for their videos. So if they're going to interview somebody, they'll use Zoom and just record the Zoom session of them talking about a product. And it puts each person in a window next to each other. And it even has room to put graphics up above and below. I know Chad Nicely uses that for his Entrepreneur Live show. So it's a very easy way to be able to do that as well. So that's Zoom, zoom.us. Got to check it out. Got to check it out.
YouTube used to have a really nice functionality for doing 2 people on camera and live stream it.
Yep.
And they took that away. They just took it away. You could hit a button. It'd be the 2 of you. You could go for as long as you want. And for some reason, they took it away. Well, it was Google Hangouts.
Well, it's because they moved it mostly to YouTube Live now. So, they got rid of Hangouts.
You still got to have streaming software to do it. That's the thing, if I understand it, where you didn't need streaming software before.
Well, what they did was they made YouTube Live a lot easier and then got rid of Hangouts is basically what ended up happening.
Well, anyhow, if you want to do YouTube Live and you're not a technical person, then get Zoom. That's what people are doing, Zoom.
And pay attention to this radio show because coming in 2019, we've got some new solutions. Sorry, in 2020. Yes, you're right. Yeah. We have some new solutions that will be out that'll blow people's mind when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I won't talk about that now. No. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. All right. So the next program I want to talk about is one that I don't even know how I found this. I kind of stumbled across it. I was looking for a way to manage all of my email accounts and other things in one app. And I came across one program that I tried, and it was pretty good. Oh, and the big one was I wanted Facebook Chat to be in its own program. And I went through a lot of programs that would make, a permanently opened program that did Facebook Live, not Facebook Live, but Facebook Messenger right inside of it, and also did Gmail. And I came across a couple of programs, but I finally stumbled upon one called Shift. Now, Shift is a tremendous program. It puts all of your emails in one program. So if you've got 15 Gmail accounts, you can have all 15 Gmail accounts in there and manage them all in one place. You can have Facebook Chat in there. You can have Skype in there. You can have your Trello boards in there. You can have a bunch of other things. You can even have YouTube in there so that it's always open, always there. You're not dealing with a web browser to handle all these things. I mean, technically speaking, it really is kind of a web browser, but it's a very reconfigured web browser that focuses on these different things. And they each use unique sessions, so you don't have to worry about if you've ever dealt with Gmail where you've got 3 different Gmails and you got them open in 3 tabs and you jump from one to the other and you go to refresh and it just opens up the one that you were just in the other tab, and it's a big pain in the neck. This avoids all of that. Each one is its own session, so you can have multiple Gmails open all at the same time. You can have multiple versions of YouTube open at the same time with different accounts logged in, and it's not going to interfere. So it's called Shift, and it's a very, very cool program that I highly, highly recommend you check out. They've added some great new features, and even some plugin functionality from the Chrome store has been added as well to it. So there's a few different things you can do. I don't have the website for that, but I guess I should have looked that up beforehand. But it's let me see if I can get the website here.
7 Ps.
Shift. What's that?
7 Ps.
7 Ps.
Prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
Yeah,
that's from the Army. That's from the Army.
I've heard that one before. I know that one too. I should know better, but so let me see if I can find this here. I apologize. Let's see if I do a search here.
My pastor's a colonel in the Army, so I'm always getting all these little Army-isms from him.
Nice.
Pretty good colonel. Next rank up is brigadier general. So, yeah.
That is a pretty good one to be in. So it's tryshift.com. Tryshift.com.
Tryshift.com. Okay.
Yes, TRY.
And be careful when you're saying shift.
Yes, be careful with that. But very good program, allows you to do all of that. I use that program on all my machines. Every machine has that program on there, and I run it all the time. Is it perfect? No. It's got a few bugs that drive me crazy once in a while, but very, very good program overall. One worth paying for. By the way, if you don't want to pay for it, you can start with a free trial. But if you get other people to sign up, you can get yours for free. I got mine for free. I got a bunch of other people to sign up, and now I get mine for free. So, very good program for that. And it's nice to have, honestly, it's nice to have Facebook Messenger constantly there, not through the web browser and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was wondering why your messenger, it always shows you as being there, and I know you're not always, you're
it's
in
because
and out.
It's just open, That's probably, and by the way, there's tools that can fool that too, to make it seem like you're not there even if you are. So
yeah, okay, all right, whatever. Yeah.
All right, the next one I want to talk about is one of my favorite tools that I organize a lot of my stuff with, and that is Trello. Trello is a free program that allows you to basically manage everything. I mean, I use it for my business stuff, so I've got probably like 20 different Trello boards that 20 different Trello boards that I use. I use one as a weekly planner. I use one to manage my clients. I use one to organize things like when we did the Halloween party at my church. I did that through Trello. I kept all the things in there. I use it to communicate with my employees. I use it for pretty much everything. My real estate stuff is all in Trello. I'm trying to think of some of the other things I do in there. Some of my clients have their own Trello boards because we do a lot more with them. And I've got one that's specifically for goal setting. So I set all my goals in there. There's a lot of really cool things you can do with it. Trello, very good program. Highly, highly recommended that you get your hands on that. Trello.com. It puts it in a nice little pipeline. And by the way, I actually use that, Trello.com. And I actually use it as a pipeline tool for some of the stuff too. So, client, we contacted this client. The client bought. We set this up, So you can do pipelines in there as well. Now, granted, we're getting a lot busier. We're going to be moving to a very specific content management, client management system. But Trello can be used for that purpose if you want. I use it for my project planning. I use it for my affiliate programs. All of that stuff inside of Trello boards. And many others. I mentioned Chad Nicely earlier. He's the one who kind of turned me on to using Trello. So thank you to Chad for that one. That was a big help. We love Trello, so check it out, Trello.com. And the last one, speaking of old Chad Nicely, the last one on my list is Everlesson. Everlesson is Chad's membership program that is becoming much more than just a membership program. It's integrating with a lot of other tools, and there's a lot of really neat things that are going to be added. But Everlesson is the program that I use to run all of my memberships. So if you buy a course from me, it's probably going to be inside of an Everlesson course. So for instance, Video Sparks was one that we did recently. All of that you'll find inside of Everlesson. It plans out all your lessons for you. You can bring in your video courses. You can bring in all of your source materials. You can type all your stuff in there, and it builds everything for you. And it's only going to grow throughout this year because they're adding lots and lots of new things. But if you need to deliver to a client, it's a great way to do that. If you need to have a membership platform, if you've got lessons you want to teach, it is a tremendous product for that. You got to get in there and use that. That's a product that I use almost every single day, and most of my customers use it every day as well. Well, every day it's getting used by customers. Not every customer is in there every day, but it's getting used by customers every single day. It's got upsell features and all sorts of amazing tools to not only help you sell a course, but to help you to upsell to other courses and cross-sell to other courses. You can do free courses to get people in there and then sell them other courses. Just an amazing, robust program that integrates with PayPal and Stripe and JVZoo and Warrior Plus and everything else you can think of. Email programs and webinar programs, all integrated in there. And it works directly with live video too. So you can actually have live video lessons that are going on in there. So that's Everlesson. Well, yeah. Check it out, everlesson.com. You'll be able to get all sorts of cool stuff out of that. So
I've sat in on some of your teaching programs, you know.
Yeah.
And I was real impressed with how Everlesson managed everything. It did a good job.
It does. I love it.
I'm just giving.
Love it.
I'm giving it a 5-star review.
It deserves a 5-star review.
It's a darn good product. I give it 5 stars.
Indeed. All right. Well, there's my top 10 apps from 2019 that you can use going forward to grow your business and do all sorts of fun things. Any last minutes things you want to throw in there, Steve?
YouTube ranking machine.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't even think of that. That's one that should definitely be in there.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah, I always forget if it's video ranking machine or YouTube ranking machine.
I think YouTube Rank Machine 2. I had to go look for it.
YouTube Rank Machine 2. That's it.
It's got a lot of function in there. It's got way more stuff than I use all the time.
Yep.
But one of them is I can have it automatically critique my videos and titles, tags, descriptions. Am I doing everything I'm supposed to be doing?
Is your keyword in there? It'll tell you.
Yeah. All that kind of stuff.
Backlinking to your videos.
I can get 100 backlinks at the research. Yeah, it's just it's a wonderful piece of software. I thought that, and for what I do, that and Thumbnail Blaster were your best offerings of 2019.
I'm saddened that I didn't put that in there. I would agree. That's right up there with Thumbnail Blaster for those SaaS programs that we use quite a bit. I keep that program open on my computer here in a tab on Chrome almost all the time, mostly because as we struggled with the name earlier, I forget, and then I have to sit there and remember how to get into it again. But because I'm not very good at doing the little shortcut things, I always have to remember, oh, crap, what was that website that I log in? So I try to keep that open on my tabs quite a bit so that I don't have to remember that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
It's a good one. Well, we just added it, so.
There we go. We just added it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 11 apps for 2019 that we thought were some of the best. And, of course, going into 2020, they will probably mostly get even better. They'll add new features and things. I know Everlesson is going to be growing. Filmic Pro is going to be growing. And Shift just did grow. So there's a lot of things that will be happening. HitFilm, I'm sure, will be updating. So all of these are going to get even better in the new year. So we highly recommend that you check these out. And since we're talking about that, if you're going to get some of those things, well, today's program is made possible by HitFilm itself through freevideoeditor.co. Are you looking to start editing videos? Well, one of our top 10s of 2019 is HitFilm, and you can download it right now at freevideoeditor.co and get access to all sorts of great bonuses, including video and trainings and all sorts of other fun stuff so that you can edit like a pro without the pro prices. So check it out at freevideoeditor.co. And Steve, are you ready for that song one more time?
I am. I never get tired of it, Ray.
Me neither. It actually played in my car today. I got in my car and the Bluetooth kicked in, and guess what it started playing? It started playing my theme song.
I'll be darned.
Very, very smart car.
Yeah, very smart car.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Here we go.
Always love that car.
Yes.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the